Welcome to lecture series on programming in C and data structures. In continuation to the last lecture, we will continue seeing the structure of C program. So this is what the example we have discussed in the last lecture. So let me explain it in detail. What are the functions, inbuilt functions we have used here? What are the data types we have used? What are the return type C we have used? So let us see them in detail in this session. So initially, the C program starts with the header file #include stdio.h. So here #include is a keyword. It is a part of the compiler which gets your program from the source, and this part #include is called as the preprocessor directive. #include stdio.h we are giving, right? It is called as the preprocessor directive. It is not part of the program, but it is considered as the instruction that is given to the compiler that the compiler has to do something. So here in this case, it tells the compiler that it has to include input and output files in the program. It is a system file. #include stdio.io.h is a system file, and the file name stdio.h should be always enclosed inside the open and closed brackets. So it is a standard library definition file for all standard input and output functions. So the standard input function that we use in C program is scanf statement, and standard output function that we use is printf statement. So if you want to send an information to the screen, or if you want to read an information from the screen, we will include this stdio.h file, which will help us with the functions that we want to use or define. So the function that we use is called as the printf. This printf is used for sending the information to the screen. So the actual code of the printf will be tied in later by the linker. So here, if you see this .h portion of the file name, which is the language extension, it denotes an include file. Next, after this header file, we have the function definition. So the function definition starts with the return type. Here the return type which is specified as void. So void literally has no meaning. Void is something empty, right? So void tells the compiler that given entity has no meaning and it will not produce an error. Here in the previous example that I have shown, we have used only one function which is main. So it is not mandatory that only one function should be included inside the main program. Main program can have n number of functions. So each of these functions will be given a separate name by the programmer himself. And those functions are referred as the program is executed. Here, the main function in the program will always run first. That is, the program execution starts from the main function in case of C program. So this inside the main function, if you see, we have I said inside the parenthesis we used to pass arguments, right? In case of function definition, it starts with return type followed by the function name and closed and open and closed parenthesis. So inside those parentheses we will have the arguments. Here, if you see, these brackets encloses a keyword called void. So as I have said before, void is a keyword. So it tells the compiler that this particular function has no parameter. So it is not essential you need to specify void. Even if you did not specify void also, the compiler will assume that function main has no parameters. So if you need to work on certain values only, you will pass those values as parameter. Unless you need not have such scenarios, you need not pass any parameters. So after the function definition, the functions start with open curly braces. As the name implies, it comes in two parts, one for open and the other one for closing. So these brackets allow us to group piece of program together, and this piece of program is called as the code block or the program block. This block contains the declaration of variables, local declaration of variables inside it. After this local declaration follows the program statements. And working part of the main function is enclosed inside the open and closed curly braces. So if you see, each statement in semicolon should be terminated with the each statement in C program should be terminated with a semicolon. So this character is very important. It tells the compiler where a given statement ends. So if the compiler does not find the semicolon, it will produce an error. So semicolon is mandatory at the end of each program statement in a C program. So in other programming functions, the reading function and printing function are a part of the language. In C, it's not the case. They are defined with the help of some standard functions which are part of language specifications. But they are not considered language itself. That you have to note it down. So the standard input and output library contains a number of functions for formatted data transfer. So we use scanf for input and printf for output. So this printf function is contradictory to that of scanf, as scanf receives the input from the user. Uh, this printf function takes text or values from within the program and displays it on the screen to the user. So just like scanf, it is common to all versions of C, just as it described in the system file stdio.h. So if you look at the syntax of printf, the first parameter would be the format string or the format specifier, which describes the type of value or type of string that we are going to display to the user. So apart from this, we have source files and header files. The source file is, it has the extension .c. If you see a program, the C program is saved with extension .c, file name .c. So this is called as the source file. So the file that we are saving, right? So entire file is called as the source file. So which means the file contains C source code that defines the main function and other functions that are used. So next is a header file. So header file is nothing but it has the extension .h. It contains all the C function declarations and macro definitions that has to be shared between several source files. We also, apart from these source and header files, we also have object files and executable files. So object files has an extension .o and it contains the object code. These are produced by the assemblers, compilers, or any language translators, which are used as input to the linker, and it generates an executable or library by combining the ports of object files. The executable file is generated by the linker. So the linker links the various object files to produce a binary file which is called as the executable file, and this binary file can be directly executed. So in the next session, we will see working with the C program. So we will see few examples. I'll directly do it in compiler and show you how the program is executed and what is the output of those programs. Hope you understood this session. Thanks for watching.